Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Ross Cessna of the Spiritual Phoenix Studios coming at you with Ask a Phoenix. So, real quick, just want to do a quick recap of my weekend before I kind of get into the cards and talk about everything a little bit more. Really, the weekend was kicked off Friday night, had the full moon ritual, went excellent. Saturday, did some running around, kind of relaxed a bit. That was beautiful. And then yesterday, I kind of had this full on day of meditation. So I'm refreshed, ready to move forward. And the big takeaway that I got is despite wanting to work myself to the bone, I actually really do have to incorporate more rest in order to be able to provide the highest quality connection with everybody. So that's something I'm really going to be focusing on. And then the other thing that came up for me is I really had to upgrade my internet service. Therefore, I'm better suited to really provide a higher quality show. Hey, what's up? There's a couple people watching right now. How are y'all doing? If you'd like a card or something, I'm going to do a couple free cards, and then I'll get into doing cards for people. But I wanted to start the show off just by talking about my day a little bit, which I got out of the way. And let me get back here. We're going to transition into the actual reading. So the top cards up here are for Capricorn Sun and Virgo Moon, or Earth signs. These cards here are for the general collective. And then after I do this, I will be doing cards for individuals. So if you want to start leaving your comments now, that'll let me know who to go through and who to pull a card for. Put your question in the comments too. And if you are on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you're on Facebook, share this in another group or on your page. I'd appreciate it. And now to get into the reading. So, Capricorn Suns, your first card is about love. You have the Shaman coming up. This is the Magician in traditional tarot. This is about power and victory and the ability to take action in a big way. This is kind of saying you get out what you put in, and you create the outcomes that are there. So if you've been having difficulty in love, as unpleasant as this may be to hear, you have to really look at yourself and see if you're actually investing in it fully, or if your intentions and actions are actually lining up. And if they are, and you're still not getting the results you want, you have to check if you're pouring your energy into what's the word I'm looking for? Into a sieve where you don't get any kind of reciprocity or anything back. And that's still actually your fault, because if you invest energy in the wrong people, you can't really expect them to reciprocate. That's kind of on you, as difficult as that may be to hear. So, just to keep this going so the collective consciousness, or people that aren't my Capricorn Sun, Virgo Moons, or Earth signs can get something from this, we'll go to their love card. And they got the reverse Four of Cups. So Four of Cups is about boredom and apathy in a big way. And the reversal of this is even a little bit more intense. The general thing here is whoever you might be associating with romantically, you're feeling kind of bored and drained from it, because one of the most difficult things to do is to actually kind of engage in a relationship where you're not really engaged in it, where you're just going along for the ride and trying to put the energy in. But there's nothing more exhausting than trying to be present for somebody that you're really not into. This is asking you to stop that. And ironically, this is kind of where if you're investing a lot of energy and not getting the return that you want, it's because you're with somebody like this, where you could do everything right and it wouldn't work out. And if you're this person, you owe it to the other person to take a step back and not to participate in those types of shenanigans. Anyhow, moving right along, we now transition to the career card. And just to keep this interesting for my general collective, we're going to go back to you before we go back to my Cap Suns, Virgo Moons, and Earth signs. The message for you is the reverse Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is about tradition and kind of this classical structure. Reverse Hierophant is actually one of my favorite reversals, because it's really about following your heart. It's about shaking things up. It's about doing things differently. It's about going the road less traveled. So this is kind of saying, if You've been stuck in this traditional pattern of 9 to 5 work or pursuing what your family wants you to do. This is asking you to actually follow your heart and go against the grain here and kind of step out on a limb, which may be really uncomfortable, but it'll be incredibly rewarding. I'm going to go check my messages real quick and see if anybody said anything. I know that there's a couple people checking this out. Shoot me a message if you want. Let me know that you're there, because right now, there's no messages. If you want a card, holler at me. Come on now. Anyhow, let me get back to the reading. And now we transition to my Capricorn Suns, Virgo Moons, and Earth signs in general. And this is about your career. You have King of Cups. So King of Cups is about being emotionally balanced. It's asking you right now to bring some emotional balance to your career. Get out of your head and out of your emotional responses to situations. Calm down, slow down, take a little bit more metered approach, and make sure that you're responding rather than reacting, I guess, is a big takeaway from this. Make sure that you're actually evaluating the situation clearly and that your emotions have calmed before you take action. And you can actually have some big gains if you're willing to do that. You're gonna check back on chat again, see if there's anything popping in chat. Still nobody there. Nobody really wants to say what's up. I get it. No worries. But we will get back to it, and then we will share it in a couple Facebook groups and see what pops off. So now we're going to go to Capricorn Sun, Virgo Moon, and this is about your future. You got Three of Cups coming up. Three of Cups is really all about joy, community, connection, and it's just saying, hang in there. Some good things are going to come from all of this, despite maybe not having the love situation that you want, despite maybe having to temper things down in your work. If you maintain the road ahead, you will find some connection, some community, and some ultimate joy about your path overall. Now we transition to the future card for the general collective, and it's Two of Arrows, which this deck, it calls it injustice. And traditional tarot, Two of Swords would be about choice or stalemate. And this is just saying that right now you might have to slow down and really make a decision as to how you want to progress forward. And I think that it really relates to the sense of boredom and also following your heart in the career and deciding what's more important to you. Going the safe route of choosing one option, or really going for something that sets your soul on fire and potentially going with the risk that's associated with that. For me, it's a no-brainer, but for you, you might have a little bit different answer than what I'm coming up with. So, if there's anybody that is checking this out and you would like to share it, I would greatly appreciate it. If not, totally understand. I'm going to move over here to the final card, and this is for everybody. And I'm going to move it a little bit closer so I can see it. This is a little bit hard. The card itself is pushing upward. This is from the Tao Oracle, and it's just letting us know that there's steady progress, gaining confidence, accepting challenges, a promotion, and receiving recognition. So it's really just saying, keep going, keep moving forward. Things are shaping up better than you might assume they are. And you just have to keep putting in the work and letting the results speak for themselves. So now that I've gotten these cards out of the way, because I think this is a better way for me to do it, I'm going to share this in a couple groups on Facebook. See if anybody really wants to join in. Let's see, we had one comment. Oh, you love the pushing upward card. It's such a beautiful card, Andy. So if anybody would like a card, feel free to ask. I'm going to share this to a couple places. If you're able to share it, great. And then we'll kind of get back to everything and see what comes up. Okay, we'll share it there. I'm going to share it to 2 more places and see if a couple other people can't share it for me once we get that going. We'll do it one more real quick, and then if anybody's asking for cards, I can't check the comments right now, but I'll check them shortly, and we will go from there. Okay, we'll try this one here. We'll do one more. Hold on one second. We'll get your cards rocking. We'll try that one. All right. So give me one second. We'll check the chat. Hey, what's up, Seth? How you doing, man? So everybody, I'm back to the part of the show now where I'll be doing cards for everybody. Let me just shuffle these up real quick, and we will get it rocking. So if you want a card, shoot me a message. Most of the messages come through. Some of them don't because of the software that I'm using, but I'll do my best to grab everybody. But you got to ask questions and let me know if you want one. Is there anybody out there? Just nod if you can hear me. So Andy, I know that I've given you cards recently. It was kind of the same stuff. A couple new things shook up. But if you have a question, please feel free to ask. I would really appreciate the conversation. So let's see. I know that there's some people in there. Let's see. Anyone want a card? Okay, so I'm just waiting a little bit longer for you guys, see if anybody has anything that they want to say. And if not, I'm just going to draw some cards and see who it sticks with. Alright, I'm just going to draw a couple cards in because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people on right now. And if nobody wants a card, I'm just going to keep rocking. Alright, so this is for the general collective while we are just chilling here. We have the Pole Star. This is the star card in traditional tarot. It is all about hope, destiny pulling you forward, good things coming despite maybe the darkness that's going on. And it's literally kind of about the situation that I'm in now where there's no real clear path ahead. Nobody's really participating. But you keep going forward, following the light of the situation and hoping for good outcomes because you have faith built upon your previous experiences that the road ahead of you is lit as long as you're willing to do the work and show up. And I think that's so much of what life is about is as long as you're willing to do the work and showing up, good things will come to you despite maybe the difficult circumstances that are ahead of you. So next card that came up was Five of Stones. It was in reverse. And for anybody listening right now, I'm just drawing cards because nobody's asking questions. If you want a card, shoot me a question. We'll make it happen. Five of Stones in this deck is endurance, and it's kind of holding on despite the storm. The fire there, fire is relative to creativity. It's kind of keeping that internal spark alive despite maybe the difficult circumstances that are around you. Maintaining warmth despite maybe the cold outer world. Holding together. Pentacles is relative to stones in this deck, though. Five of Pentacles is about insecurity, poverty, and worry. And it's really just saying that hold on despite maybe the external circumstances. Really a perfect card to go in conjunction with the Star card because it's saying things might not seem very hopeful right now, but if you maintain the course, things will work out. Fives in general are about adversity in tarot, and it's just kind of maintaining that energy of difficulty but perseverance. So everybody else is still just kind of chilling, and we will draw another card. This is the Ace of Stones. This is about manifestation and prosperity. This is really asking you to what's the word I'm looking for? Invest your energy wisely because right now it's in the reverse position and any of the aces, even in reverse, are generally still positive. but it's letting you know that maybe you don't believe in yourself enough or have enough confidence in what you're doing to fully establish what you're trying to create. And one of the huge aspects of manifestation is this, I hate to say it, ask, believe, receive mentality, but it's predicated upon taking consistent action and showing up despite the difficulty of everything going on. In case anybody wants to know, that wasn't like a massive fart. My pug is sleeping on my lap right now, and that was her doing like a really, really big snore. So that's what that noise was. So we're going to hang tight for a couple more minutes, and if nobody is asking any questions, I'm going to have to move on. So we will go back and draw a couple more cards, see what shakes up. And we have the Wanderer. I kind of like to view this card as a fool almost in some ways. It's a little bit different but similar. Traveling, adventure, movement, coping with unfamiliarity, a pilgrimage, aloneness, broaden your horizons. And it's really, really asking you to take action, show up, do the footwork, move, keep going despite the adversity that is ahead, and don't doubt your own journey, don't doubt your own path. It really ties into all of these cards. There's this saying, and it was in The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and I'm going to paraphrase it, but the general thing is, at the beginning of your journey, everything is relatively easy for you. But when you're about to make this big transition into the next phase of everything, it will be harder than it's ever been, and it will seem completely hopeless, pointless, and futile to continue to put forth the effort, and it'll feel like nothing that you do is ever going to have results. And this is the phase of the journey that really pushes most people back, because they get exhausted, they lose faith in themselves, they want to quit, and they just stop. But for those of us who have had enough direct experience to have belief in ourselves, there's this ability to push forward despite all those circumstances, because you understand that going back at this point is going to be more effort than continuing forward. It's where you really double down on what you're doing and hope to see the results, because you know that there's no other option. And I think that that's a really good card to show this. And ironically, if you add 5 and 6 together, you get 11, which would be the Justice card, which is about really getting the results of what you put in. And if you reduce the 11, you would get 2. And by reduce, I mean reduce in numerology. That ends up with the High Priestess. High Priestess is kind of about sitting in your power, getting comfortable, and then also receiving this esoteric knowledge or this wisdom, which again would be directly relative to the Star card, and learning how to position or parlay that for your own benefit. So, anyhow, there's a couple more people on. I'm going to give you guys an option. I'm going to draw some cards on love in general right now and see what kind of the general temperature is for love for people that are listening or watching. We'll shuffle this again super quick, and then we'll get into it. And if you would like a card, please let me know. Okay, so our first love card, it's the Sun. You really can't get very many better cards in general for a love card. So if this is your soulmate or twin flame, and I hate to use those terms because I think they're so misappropriated by New Age culture, but this is saying that good things are going to come for you within the context of your love life if you're willing to really open up to it. Then we move on to another love card, and you have the Green Woman. So this is really the Empress in traditional tarot. This is about creativity, abundance, nurturing, femininity. And it's just saying tap into your inner woman in a big way. This is going to help you cultivate that feminine side. Feminine energy is more passive and receptive in esotericism as well. So this is saying just receive the growth of the whole experience and don't try to push things forward so much. Then we move to the final card in this little chit chat about twin flames and soulmates and all of that, and it is the Knight of Stones. So Knight of Stones overall is Knight of Pentacles. This is about being efficient and routine oriented, and Knights are about motion, and it's about finding the right way to move forward with circumstances or with these new patterns that we're trying to cultivate as a result of the new year. So anyhow, with that, I've been on as long as I can be for tonight. Thank you so much for checking this out. I hope that it was helpful to you, and I hope that everyone has a blessed evening, and I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.